Over the past few years, we've heard a lot about cord cutting, right? People getting rid of expensive cable packages in favor of streaming services. Well, it turns out those costs are taking their toll as well, with streaming services now losing their subscribers. Customer defections, as they're saying, so customers leaving, basically, across premium streaming services, increased to 6.3% in November of 2023. That's up from 5.1% just a year earlier. Now streamers, they're trying to retain customers with lower cost, ad-supported tiers. That means you got to watch the ads, right? But as consumers grow overwhelmed with options to enjoy content, could cable make a comeback? It's a really good question. Media reporter for Axios, Carrie Flynn, joins us now. All right, Carrie, thanks so much for joining us. What is behind this trend? So why are we changing the way we watch our shows and movies?
Streaming is just easier, right? And that's one thing that's so amazing about it is I could just, right after this, I'm going to turn on my computer and go to Netflix, right, and watch something. That's really the power of streaming as well. And there's just a proliferation of great content on streaming. You know, there's sure shows that I love on traditional cable, but there's so many shows that I'm addicted to across so many platforms. So obviously there's just so much engagement there. The issue is there's so many of these, it's hard to keep track. And when me, myself, and other users look at their monthly credit card bill, it's looking a little alarming with all those individual line items of those services. So really there's that like price sticker shock. So we're starting to see those companies make changes to appease consumers with those changes. One way, like you said, is those ad-supported services. So for a lesser price per month, you still get that great content. You're just having to watch a few ads every hour. And some people are okay with that. That's fine. The other option we're seeing is bundling of services. Disney is probably the most notable example. They have a really successful bundle because they have 3 different services: Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus. For a lesser price per month, you can get access to all of those services. So again, the hope is that you're less likely to unsubscribe or cancel if you have more for what you hope is less. The other way, obviously, is just having great content, right? If there's a program that I love available on one service every month, why am I going to cancel? So those are really the 3 methods that the companies are using to keep people loyal to their services.
But when you think about it, you do the breakdown of costs, because I did this just recently, because I'm a sucker for streaming services. There's one and I want it, and they entice you, right, with the lower price option for the first month or 3 months or whatever that is. But once you add it all up, you realize I'm either paying as much as I would for cable, or in some cases even more. There must be services that are better that we should keep and ones we should get rid of. So help us navigate that whole thing.
Well, it depends on the consumer, right? There are some people, I'm not a big reality TV person. I love scripted content. For me, there's so much reality TV and there's so much international program on Netflix. I'm not as geared to that. I'm a Max person because Max has so many of those traditional HBO shows, right? So it really depends on what the consumer wants. But we're also starting to see these bundling across services. And the hope as well is providing not just unscripted reality, also scripted in one package. So again, depending on your preference, you're going to subscribe because it has so much. Another way to keep people engaged is also sports. Not everyone loves sports, right? But a lot of people do. And you're starting to see, again, those sports rights, those live games appear across all the services. So it's really kind of sucked people in of like, well, I guess I got to pay for them all. But again, the bundling is one thing that's really super interesting, like I mentioned with Disney. And there's one new bundle that I'm very curious to see how it plays out through this year, is a bundle between Max, again, formerly HBO Max, and Netflix. Like I mentioned earlier, those are 2 different services, offer a lot of different variety. Verizon is a company that's coming in and being like, all right, for cheaper per month, it's actually only $10 per month, which, okay, sounds like a lot, but that's $7 in savings per month. And they're hoping that adds up. But we're really going to have to see whether or not consumers are interested in that as I am.
The interesting thing, too, is seeing these numbers. So more people are leaving. It would seem that streaming services then need to do something. They need to adjust, right, to meet the needs of the consumer to keep us. So what should we expect to see?
I think we're going to expect to see a lot more of those bundles that I just mentioned. That Netflix and Max bundle is the first ever time that those companies have, agreed to offer one service together through a third party, Verizon, but still coming together. I think we're going to see more of those, not just, Disney offering its own services together, but collaboration between these different companies. I also think we're going to perhaps see more consolidation of the services themselves. We saw that last year with Paramount. Paramount Global decided to fold two of their services together. They have Paramount Plus and they have Showtime. They chose to discontinue Showtime, their streaming app, and instead create Paramount Plus with Showtime. As we see more consolidation also within the media companies themselves, there was just a report, actually Axios was the first to report conversations between Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount. If those companies were to combine, for sure, we'd see those streaming services could fold into each other or at least have that bundle, that cheaper opportunity for customers.
And we need cheaper opportunities, that's for sure. Media reporter for Axios, Carrie Flynn, thanks so much for joining us.